Good evening, everyone. Thank you for watching now and in the future. This is Karen, and this is Myth and Gears, and we are going to have a new game on here tonight. It's called Leviathan, and we're going to be doing some Harbinger, some 5e goodness. So with that said, I'm going to throw it over to my players and let them introduce themselves. First up, Chad.
Hello, I'm Chad. I'm going to be playing Treader this evening. As a bit of a stalker who expertise is reconnaissance, evacuation, and destruction. So hopefully we'll be getting to see a little bit of one of those. 2 out of 3 won't be bad, and I'm sure that we'll bring it. And he's a forge-born, so he's not exactly organic. And he's uh he's ready to go and traverse this place that you're gonna put before us and join his comrades and check out Absolute Tabletop if you haven't.
Absolutely. Next, we have Dave.
Let me find my mute button there. Hey folks, I'm Dave with Mornblade Gaming, and tonight I'll be playing Amos the Vulture. He is a Mancer and also an Aphelion, which means that he can focus his Astra into weapons. For those of you familiar with D&D 5e, it's kind of like a Hexblade, but not. It's better. So I'm looking forward to tonight, and we're going to F some shit up here.
Awesome. Next, we have Connor.
Hey, I'm Connor from Dice on Ice. I'm going to be playing a Mechanist tonight, specifically a Slip Dagger. This is a Mechanist who is skilled in both subterfuge, technology, hacking, stealth. I'm basically going to be the man in the chair, the hacker. You know, I'm in kind of guy. So let's see how that goes.
And last but not least, we have Jose.
Hey everybody, my name's Jose, and today I'm playing Victor Johnson, aka the dog. He's the one making sure everybody keeps their guts in.
Beautiful. All right. So the team of you were tasked on a mission to hunt down and exterminate an enemy ship that got away from the battle. You were asked because the team that was originally sent to go after them failed. 24 hours ago, we got a message. We've lost all contact, with them and found that their mission had been compromised. Your mission is to not only track down, make sure the enemy troops have been eliminated, but to also find out what happened to the Leviathan and report back. And as your team has emerged from your shuttle, you're on this dark, devoid of life planetoid, so it seems. You'd exit your shuttle, and before you had even made it the 100 feet to where this crashed enemy ship lies, you were set upon by vicious animals. So vicious, in fact, this battle has been that one of you is already down and out, and the rest of you are fighting for your lives. So, for that, I need you guys to roll initiative, please. Ah. If someone could in the chat keep the initiative tracking, that would be super wonderful. We have...
Connor, you on that?
Yeah, he's kind of on that. He's got...
Yeah, yeah, I got it.
Thanks, Blade.
Sorry, my computer skills are failing me at the moment.
If I could see it, I'd help you out, but
That's okay. I forgot how to type on a keyboard.
Yeah, he's
For a
giving you
brief
guys
moment.
insane initiatives, like, 32.
I
And
don't know what the puppies rolled, so I'm going to have to just throw them in there somewhere.
yes. All right, so first up, we have Amos. So what you see in front of you, you've got this barren landscape. It's dark. It's rock strewn. There's like lots of boulders, outcroppings, etc. that's on the ground. Your shuttlecraft is probably about 100 yards behind you. The broken, crashed enemy ship is 100 feet ahead of you. And surrounding you are 3 of these, for lack of a better word, hounds. They look like hounds, but they have this gelatinous, kind of oozy, slimy texture to them, almost like some sort of plant, kind of, for lack of better words on that. So, Amos, what are you doing?
You said that one of us had already fallen?
Yes, that would be your fallen player. I don't know his name at the moment, so we'll just call him Steve. Yes, he is down. He was attacked from behind. He was the first casualty.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah. His throat was ripped right out. So.
And they're all within range?
Yes. You are surrounded by these guys. They are right on top of you.
Yeah, we have been engaged. Okay. So, I see these oozing, gross things, and I immediately begin rubbing my hands together, and this astra begins to erupt from my hands, this yellowish astra. And what comes forth is a warblade, a jagged-edged warblade, and that is a bonus action to cast that, but it does cost 1 astra fade. And then I will attack the nearest one to me. Okay. That is a total of a 16 to hit.
16 does hit.
Excellent. So that is a total of 13 points of damage. It's force damage, as this warblade just pushes its way into this creature, and you just see the flesh kind of give underneath it.
So is this all force damage?
Yeah, the Astra weapon causes force damage.
Okay. So I want to say, as you are striking this creature, and yes, it goes deep with your blade. However, as soon as you pull the blade back, you notice that the wound almost starts to knit up.
Lovely.
It doesn't seem to do quite as much as you expected it to have done. Anything else you'd like to? You've done your bonus and a switch. You can move if you so choose.
Yeah, I would like to try to. I'm going to try to move into flank behind the one that I'm with, so that my enemy, my companions would get an advantage on it.
Okay, so you're going to try and move around it a little bit?
Yep.
Okay. And that brings us to Victor.
You said that we're surrounded, right?
That's correct. There's 3 of them around you. So this way you can choose if you're on the same one as Amos or if you're on a different one.
Okay, let's see. What I would do is Victor would walk forward like a few steps, and he would raise his hand, and out of the floor this wall, like blue shield walls, and then come up. Let's see. And yeah, I'm casting a particle wall, and I would boost it so projectiles can pass through our side.
Okay, so that's the one where it stops projectiles, but you're boosting it so your projectiles go through. Is that correct? Okay, perfect.
And then after that, I would probably just get him within distance of like a formation, like try to be like 2 to 3 steps beside somebody.
Who are you going to go beside?
Can you repeat that?
I said, who are you going to try to go to beside?
Probably next to Ren.
Okay. And that brings us up to Red.
So there's one of each of them on both of its sides now. Are they both near the same one?
So right now we have one creature that is engaged with Amos. Victor has got beside you with the particle wall. Now it's only, what, 3 feet high? Is that? And then you boosted it with projectiles, didn't you?
Yeah, it's 3 feet high and 2 inches thick.
I'll crouch behind it. And are they technically surprised since they haven't acted yet?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Yeah. And technically the battle has started already, but for all intents and purposes, mechanically, you can get your because you have the first round action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I am going to get I would get an extra attack if they're surprised. If they're not surprised, then they haven't acted yet, then I would get advantage.
We'll go for the whole, as if this was the whole.
Okay. I will start with my first action is attacking with my light pistol, but I'm gonna bonus action right before that to use my energy weapons on it, and you'll see his whatever passes for eyes is ocular sockets begin to glow red, and it see a surge of it jolt down his arm into the weapon, and the shots that come out are wreathed in red astra as the first shots come off. Advantage. Nice, that's a crit. That's another crit. I think they might all be crits. If they were surprised, it'd be a crit. Okay, so I have a 2 20s. And
Yes.
then,
Yeah.
and that is, how are you going to do that with your crits? I would get a D8 for the pistol and a D8 for the energy weapons.
Okay, so how I do the crits is you get max damage and then roll and add your modifiers.
Okay. So max damage would be 16. And then do I roll both of them again? So 2d8s, one for the pistol and one for the force?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. 16 plus 7.
And let me know
23.
how much is force and how much is
Okay.
pistol.
I guess 8 plus 4, 12 would be the pistol. And then 8 plus 3 is going to be force, so 11.
Okay, and which one were you shooting at? The same one that is on Dave or a different one?
Yes, the one that is right next to him.
Okay.
And I have a wraith muzzle on the pistol for what it matters.
That's the one that makes it quiet?
Yes. And then I get 2 extra attack, and then I also get 1 if it was surprise. That's the first 2, and then a 13 or an 18 plus, and then a modified 20.
So you got an 18 and a modified 20?
Altogether it's a modified 20.
Okay, that's a hit, yeah.
Okay. And then that's 8 for the pistol, which is 2, and 8 for the force, which is 5.
Okay, so as you lay into this thing shooting it, you also notice that some of the wound itself kind of almost knits together a bit as the bullets pass through, but definitely 2 good solid, 2 or 3 good solid hits on it, and it is definitely hurting.
I have a crit I forgot to roll for. It was crit, and then...
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so roll for that second crit.
So max plus 6, so 14 pistol, and then max plus 7, so 15 force.
Okay, so that actually, with that last one, is going to take this guy down. So you can describe how that final bullet.
I think the first shot was kind of off, and then as he took the second and third shot, he kind of moved towards a weaker point that brought it down. And there's searing red aster that kind of fades out of the wounds, and then its eyes go dim as it slumps over.
That brings us to Blade.
Blade's you can hear the servos in Blade's arms and knees as he quickly pulls out a light pistol and shoots at this creature that is attacking Amos.
The one attacking Amos is down.
Oh, is there any other ones near Amos or another party member of mine?
There's 2 more. They're all you're all kind of in this area, so yeah.
So that'd be a 19 to hit.
That is a hit.
And that'll be, can't even do math, 10 points of piercing damage. And then a little click happens as Blade deploys a little spheroid equipped with a little laser beam that fires at the same critter. That's going to be a 16 to hit.
That does hit.
For 9 points of force damage.
Yeah, so you can tell on that last shot that it is not as effective as what you're used to.
That's the end of my turn.
And that brings us to these creatures' turns. So there is a 3-foot barrier between them and Red and Victor. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So one is going to head towards Amos, and the other one is going to try to jump over this barricade and attack one of you. We'll go after Jose, or not Jose, Doc. Okay, so creature manages to jump over that barricade, and coming straight for you, Doc, he is trying to bite and claw at you. Ooh. Okay, so the 23 to bite and 22 to claw. So I think both of those get to you.
Yeah, they definitely hit.
Okay, so you're gonna take 9 points of piercing damage and 5 points of force from the bite. And 8 points of damage from the claws, slashing damage from the claws as it makes you. And I need you to make a con save, please.
I get a 10.
Okay. Amos, the one on you bounds towards you, and 19 to hit with the bite, 12 with the claws. I believe the claws that misses, right?
The claws do miss, but the 19 will hit.
Okay. So you are going to be taking 5 points of piercing damage from the bite and 4 points of force. And I also need you to make a con save.
All right. I got a total of I got a dirty 20 for con save.
Okay. That brings us to the top of the round in Amos.
Well, that's just not going to do. So as he's standing there, this thing bounds forward and bites him, and he just looks down at it, and he's just, this just not going to do. Not going to do, I tell you. And he brings this blade up and just starts whooshing it, and you see it just sort of rippling with this golden yellowish astra as he strikes at this creature. Is it considered to be flanked?
At this point, I would have to say no.
Okay.
It just moved in. Yeah.
That is a 19 to hit.
That is hit. Yeah.
All right. So max damage on the dice. So that is a total of 17 points of damage.
And this is all force, is that correct?
Force damage, yeah.
Okay.
And yeah. So I am going to try to I'm going to move back towards my companions. So drawing this thing forward, yes, I am giving it an attack of opportunity. So needs a 15 to hit me.
And it will totally take an attack of opportunity on you.
Yeah.
That would be a 23 to hit as he claws at you.
All right, and that's
8 points of
Wait.
slashing.
do I need a con saving throw?
Not with a claw, no.
8 points?
Yes.
5. Okay. All right, so I'm moving closer to my companions, and they mean business, boys. They mean business.
That will bring us to Doc.
Alrighty. Yeah. Doc would just like hold his stomach, and he would be like, "He got me good, guys. He got me good." And he's gonna disengage, and he's gonna run like halfway where he's like between the group and try to find cover. And as my bonus action, I would like to cast Revitalization. He would just start waving his hand around, and you would see all this like blue waves coming out of it. And I would boost it. Let me see. I would boost it twice. Once to get 2d6, and another one so I can target 2 people, and I would target Amos and myself.
Okay, perfect. And what does that bring your Astrofade limit to right now? Or so Astrofade.
1 second. It's gonna bring it 2 over.
Okay, so roll for your healing, and then we'll roll on the chart. Is your particle wall staying up as you do this, or are you letting it go?
Do I still have? I imagine I have to roll what is that? Yeah, concentration. So I'll do that first. My concentration was 18.
Yes, that's how much damage you took, right?
Oh, I took 21 damage earlier.
Yeah, so you'll have to, I believe that's what you have to.
Well, that's fine. I mean, if I have to drop it, I'll drop it. He's pretty badly hurt anyway, so. Alright, so healing wise, Amos and the Doc get 15 total. It's 2d6 plus my spellcast DC, which is 17. I mean 7. My spell thing.
Perfect. And then
And
you're 2 over, so a d6.
Right, since I'm at it, I can roll twice. I'm gonna go with the second one, which is a 1.
So nothing happens. Nice. Okay. And you have effectively moved away from the combat and finding some cover behind a boulder. And we will go on to Red.
I would like to. Is there one that jumped the shield that was there, and is that one still near me then?
Yes, that one's right on you. That was the one that bit and gashed poor Doc before he took off on you.
I'm gonna assume that he's probably within 5 feet then, so I would be at disadvantage to shoot him.
That is correct, yeah.
Okay, then he's gonna have this contraption come off of his lower back that he grabs that's like a pneumatic piston that goes over his hand, and it effectively is like a war hammer that and then he will slam it into this four-legged beast in front of me. And that will be no longer at advantage. Womp, womp, womp. That is a natural 1.
So as you go to slam this thing in, and it kind of, say, would have to almost jams kind of thing. Like it just does not fire like you were expecting it to do. It does not do any of its force punch. So you just kind of stop and look at it and go, what the heck is going on?
I'm going to, I have
Yeah.
extra attack,
Perfect.
so I'm going to do that. That is 16.
That is a hit, so you managed to get the thing, bang it and make it work.
One-handed, 6 damage of bludgeoning.
As you hit this thing, it kind of makes this like a yelp, but it's like this horrendous, ear-shattering kind of sound, like nothing you've heard before.
I'm going to action surge and hit it again for 15.
15 is a hit.
Okay. Oh man. For 4 more damage bludgeoning.
Okay, and then that will bring us to Blade.
I have
Oh, do you have your, sorry.
extra attack, so when I extra surge, I get it.
I'm sorry. Absolutely,
problem.
carry on.
That's another natural 1. I'm gonna take liberty on this one and say that at least the condition has been damaged on my Warhammer, and I kind of throw it back onto my. Well, I can't in the same turn, but it's basically useless to me at the moment, as it makes a horrendous sound.
Yeah, the mechanism's kind of jam. It's something went up with it. Blade.
Blade levels his pistol and fires again at one of these beasts.
Which one are you firing at? There's one on Red and one on Amos.
The one on Amos.
Okay.
It's 21 to hit.
That is a hit.
Okay, and that's going to deal 13 points of piercing. And then my spheroid zaps it with a little laser beam, which is 17 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
And 6 points of force.
Okay. Yeah, as the laser beam hits it, you can see it. It just doesn't get enough purchase on it. It's like maybe this skin or whatever this creature is made of, it kind of glistens a little bit and diffuses that laser beam, and it's not as powerful. Are you doing anything else, Blade?
Nope, that's my turn.
Okay, so that brings us to these creatures, and they make this growling, this sound that's deep within their chests, and almost like strikes that primal urge of fear in everybody. And as they are going to...
What does that sound like?
I am not even going to try. I'll put the mic down by my tummy when it growls. There we go. So it's going to try to... We'll do the first one. It's going to try to bite you. That will be a 24. Yes. The bite's going to connect.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so you're going to take 7 piercing and 4 force from that bite, and make me a con check, please.
That is a 17 con.
Okay. And then he's going to try to slash you, and this one misses. Okay, so that brings us to the one that is on Red, as it goes to try to bite you. And that is a miss. 13, I don't believe, hits you. No.
No, sorry.
And so he tries to... 15. That also misses. So he tries to bite you, and his jaws probably glance off of your armor that you're wearing, or the metal of your skin or something, but you take no damage from it. It gets no purchase, as well as those claws just kind of rake and just kind of glance off of off your body. And that will bring us back to Amos.
How far is the furthest one from me?
The furthest one?
Yeah.
Probably about 10 feet.
Okay. But the other one, I'm still within range.
Yeah, one's like right in front of you, and then one's right in front of Amos. Red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna strike again. So we're now in flank, right? Because we're working on it. Did you say if red is flanking with me, or did I misinterpret that? It's cool.
I'm gonna say for this, yes, red could probably, the way you guys are moving around.
No, that's fine. I can see because they're large. It's possibly not happening. So. Oh yeah, that is a natural 20.
There you go.
So how do you do crits?
Max damage and then roll damage and add mobs.
Okay. So it's a total of 24 points of damage from this golden roiling Astra Warblade.
Solid hit, but the creature is still standing, slavering in front of you.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spittle raining on your face.
We likes that. Yes, we do.
That will bring us to Victor's turn. Doc.
So the dog is he has like a walking cane, and he's gonna hit a button on it, and it's gonna flip over, and you're gonna see it's a spear, and he's gonna put it right in top of the cover that he's in, and he's gonna hit another button, and it's gonna shoot what's it called, Astra Bolt out of it towards the one near Amos.
Okay, go for it.
Does a 16 hit?
16 does hit, yes.
I did 1 damage shot.
So your Astra Bolt
Yeah,
shoots at this guy, hits it, but just it's like it fizzles as it touches its skin, just kind of.
yeah, he was shaking as he was trying to shoot it from all the pain. And as a bonus action, I will cast what's it called? Revitalization on Amos. That's let's see.
Revitalize?
Yeah, revitalize. And he gets healed for 11.
Did you boost that or?
No, I
just
get
straight
1d6 plus 7.
Perfect. So that keeps your fate at 1. Is that right?
Well, since it's blue Astra, I don't take any extra fate on it since it's 1.
Okay. Did it increase? No. So did it increase your fate, or you
So I
stay
think
out?
there's a minimum of 1, though.
Yeah.
You have to take it reduces it to a minimum of 1.
So that means
Right.
so your fate would go up to 2, and you need to roll again on the chart.
Okay, 1 second. Let me say
So you could probably, if you wanted to, you could boost it because that one would be reduced.
We could get all jiggy with it and see what happens when we boost it.
True. But I got a 2 on that one.
So you regain D4 hit points.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Oh, excellent.
A little bit of that Astra that you sent towards Amos heals yourself, hits you up. That brings us.
You see him kind of flip his arm in the air and says, "Thanks, Boyle."
Brings us to Red. Red, you have a slavering, pustulely dog-ish creature on you. What are you doing?
I think I'm gonna pull a trick off. I need to double check what it does really quickly. Come on, quicker. He is gonna use his grapple caster. Just find it really quick so I can get the wording right. Sorry. It's a mod if anyone's closer. Okay, here we go. So it is going to. Oh, really? Sorry. Scrolled away from where I was at. Now I'm in spells. He's gonna wrap around his grapple caster around the beast, or attempt to do so at least. It's gonna be a ranged attack though, so I'm gonna do that.
So you're trying to
For
shoot. You're trying to
Yes.
shoot it. Okay.
It's I guess it would be at disadvantage, right? Because it's within 5.
Yeah.
So 16.
Yes, that's a hit.
Okay, and then it's restrained and must make a DC 14 strength check to free itself. As long as it is restrained, I can use an action to move it 10 feet. But I used an action to grapple it right now.
Okay, so it is restrained. What does that mean? Like, can it do actions, or does it have to?
I think that it would use its action to try to free itself. Or is that the check at the beginning of its turn? I'm not sure. It just says it would have to overcome a strength DC 14 to free itself.
It still has a turn, but it can't really do much with its turn besides breaking free. If it had abilities it could do without moving, then it can do those abilities. But it can't make attacks.
Okay, so it has to spend its action trying to break free, basically. Right? Okay, perfect.
Sounds good.
Anything else, Fred?
That's I can. Yes, I'm going to try to offhand hit it as well. The bone. I'm a dual wielder, so I don't have any problem with doing that. But it's only an 11.
And that will miss.
All right.
That brings us to Blade.
Are there any others of these things besides the restrained one?
There's the restrained one, which is on Red, and then there's still the one that's on Amos.
Okay, he's gonna level his gun and shoot the one on Amos. Since Red seems to have this one under control. That's gonna be a 16 to hit.
That will hit.
Ooh, there we go. 23 points of 23 points of damage with a bullet.
All piercing?
Yeah, all piercing.
And you can describe how you take this one down.
I imagine he's like the beast is leaping on Amos, like, and they're kind of locked in this, grapple where Amos is shoving his armored arm into the beast's mouth to stop it from biting at his neck and trying to stab at it with his blade. And Blade kind of just does a roll in the ground, and one shot square through the brain, or whatever organ replaces a brain in these creatures, into one side out the other, and it just falls limp on him. And then with my bonus action, I'm going to send my my little spheroid over right behind the restrained thingamajiggy, and I'm going to cause it to detonate. So I need it to make a DC 15 dexterity saving throw, but it is restrained, so I think it automatically fails. I'm going to look it up for you. Oh, disadvantage. Is that disadvantage on this dexterity saving throw? And I'm going to put in the chat what restrained actually means.
Yeah, I was just reading that. So it can actually attack, but it has disadvantage.
But it can't move. It has a speed of 0.
Yeah, and it has disadvantage on dex. Okay, so he's making a dex save, which will be a big whopping 4.
Okay, so as this thing detonates, he takes 7 points of piercing and 6 points of fire from this detonation.
It's
13 in total.
Okay, so you said 6 points? Sorry, how much of fire?
7 piercing, 6 fire.
6 fire. So what you notice with the fire is as the fire hits this creature, it actually causes part of its body to like just shrivel and blacken far more than you would expected it to. And that hit severely hurt the creature as part of its back just kind of almost disintegrates under this fire. And that will bring us...
Is it still up and about?
It is still up and about, yes. And it shrieks this loud, hurt animal sound. It's piercing to your ears. And with that, he is going to lunge forward to this guy who's got him pinned and going to try to bite. And at disadvantage, we got a 19 to hit.
Yes.
Okay, so you will take 5 points of piercing and 4 points of force damage as this bite. You can see like this bite is, there's some sort of glowing in this creature's face as it comes close in that spittle and it bites you. Glows as its bite is a little bit more devastating than you would normally expect. And I need you to make a con save while he is trying to slash at you, which will miss.
11.
Okay. That brings us to Amos's turn. Creature is dead in front of you, but there is still one that Red has. Has a grappling hook tethered into it. But
this is the one that's a little further away from me.
Yes, but you could easily get to it if you wanted to. You are not engaged with it at the moment, though, so you can choose not to. You can move freely.
You got that, Red? I'm just gonna stand back and watch you. You're a professional at work here. he says as he starts walking over there. As he throws the blade to his other hand and pulls out his scatter gun in his left hand, as you see sort of an astral ripple through it, and he is going to fire off a round at it. But I'm going to make sure that I'm like 20 feet away from it, so I don't hit red or any of my allies, but I also don't get disadvantage on it. So just because I want to put some buckshot in that thing. That is 16 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, so that is 10 points of damage total.
All piercing? Or...
it's considered, scattergun, it's piercing, so, but it is laced with Astra, so it has an Astra augmenter on there that gives it a bonus, so it's one of the weapon mods.
Augmenter.
But
oh,
yeah,
it's just a +1. Yeah. Okay, so you can describe to me how this creature dies from this scattergun shot.
So I'm thinking that as Amos is getting kind of swarthy about this whole thing, and he starts walking over, he threw the sword into his other hand and just pulled this scattergun from his hip, this old weapon that's got this attachment on it that has this it's like this clip that looks like yellow sloshing liquid within, moves not with gravity. He levels it and basically just hits the thing right in its spine, and it hits the backside and just sort of explodes to the other side, possibly spraying red a little bit with a little bit of the gore, as the thing just sort of squeals with a huge howl and falls to its belly and sort of rolls to the left and then settles to the right. What do you think about Steve over there, Doc? Is he gonna make it?
The dog will be like putting his like fingers by his neck, see if there's any breathing, and trying to see if he can heal him up. And he will be like, "I'm sorry, man. He's dead. Like, there's nothing I can do about it." Best thing we can do for this guy is trying to give him a proper burial.
Damn it. He's a good man. I think we should, load him up on the skiff and take him back to the ship. But so he kind of kneels down and starts lifting him up to start carrying him over there.
Yeah, the dog will give you a hand. Maybe we can put him in the med lab and, keep his body like in stasis so it doesn't start stinking.
Yeah, that's a good plan. So we rest him inside the you said our transport vessel was close by, right?
Yeah, your shuttlecraft is about 200 yards. 200 yards behind you.
All right, so we're gonna hustle it over there and rest him into one of the seats, and then put the seat belts on him to hold him in place. And then,
Red, I just want to mention, as you are leaving this battle scene, you're noticing that these 3 creatures that you've downed, in just the short little time it's taken to look over at Steve's body and then assess it and try to take it back to the ship, you've noticed that these hounds have started to almost like liquefy. They're, I would say decomposing, but they are kind of collapsing in amongst themselves and spreading much quicker than you would expect any dead body to do.
Do I know if either of you know how to use like red Astra? Fire type Astra? Did either one of you happen to take a spell like that?
Forgot to mute myself there. I mean, we can use red Astra, but I don't know any of the red myself. Red.
Yeah, me neither.
I would know that they don't have those capabilities. I'm sure. I've never seen them do that.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. You know, I'm focused on a yellow Astra, and he's more blue and for healing.
And I'm just a
his
mechanist.
his ocular lenses would begin to flash red, and that's like a sign of danger. An alert normally alerts his team, and he would contact. He only speaks through the whisper link. Destruction. Fire is necessary. Spreading.
They're healing. The healing boil. So I would imagine that. Let me see. We have glow rods aren't fire; they're just glow rods. Do we have any flares in the ship?
Most likely, yeah.
Okay, probably a little bit of fuel of some sort.
I mean, I could probably use my arc tool to cause a spark, perhaps, and set it all on fire if it's flammable.
True. So we come back and we start. I mean, it's all rocks in the area here. No wood of any sort.
No, this is a pretty barren planetoid. There's from what you can see, it's almost, well, at least in this area anyway, is kind of devoid of life. It's just rock and dust and dirt. Maybe there might be some scrub, but you'd have to search for it at this point.
Okay.
Do you want to put it in something? We can't destroy it.
Well, we might be able to
Destroy it or leave.
move the ship over there and just use the thrusters on low or something right next to it. So that's probably a good idea. So who's the best pilot? Who's our pilot?
I'm probably the most savvy with the controls.
Yeah, so let's just lift it over there and just put it on a low burn right next to him, you think? And just burn him up? Would that do the job?
We can certainly try.
I bet there's one way to find out.
Yeah.
Just hover it across the... yeah, so we'll move the skiff over to the ship, the shuttle, and then try to basically just guide the burners in the back end to burn up these corpses.
Or are any of you staying outside the ship when this is happening, or are you all in the shuttle?
I would think that at least one or more of us are outside trying to guide him to sort of, because it's a delicate sort of work, to guide it to the right spot. So I'm probably staying outside guiding him in. What were you going to say, Chad?
I was hoping, Connor, I'm sorry, I don't know your character's name.
Blade.
Blade, that's right. I was hoping Blade would take a look at my Warhammer piston device while we were doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Like toss it to him. So I'd probably be on the ship with him doing that.
And I can get it fixed within a matter of minutes. Just bzz, 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 bzz.
Okay, so let's deal with the flying of the ship first. Unless you wanted to make do the repair first.
Let's burn the corpses first. I think
Okay.
that's more imperative.
So
Yeah, I think Red can help him, right, with astrogation, get him an advantage on the roll. Maybe.
Sure, why not? Let's do that. So Red's got astrogation. You can help look at the readout. You've got Amos outside on the Whisper Link, letting you know if you're in the right spot or not. So Blade, I need you to make me a piloting check. I don't know what the skill is in Harbinger. I don't have a character sheet.
It's probably just a vehicle skill.
Yes, it's the vehicle skill.
Okay. Dexterity or intelligence or something else.
In this case, I'm going to say it's dex based.
Okay,
It's
so that's a 19.
19?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So let's say you are where you are supposed to be. And you let out a go of the burners. Amos, I need you to make a dex save. Make sure you are not in the wrong spot.
I got a 12.
Okay.
I mean, I was kind of guiding him in.
Yes. At the last second, you realize you might be a little bit too close, and you manage to, right before he fires those burners, make sure you are out of the way. You feel a little bit of the warmth, but you are fine. Oh,
Yeah, I would imagine that he gets some of his beard singed, and he's banging the side of the ship. He's just walking forward.
Close.
And he looks into the ship like, and he's shrugging at him like, what the hell? Use your mirrors.
So, Doc, you said you were also outside. Where were you abouts when this was going on?
I would imagine the dog was like kind of like doing the wavy thing, like when you're waving in an airplane, and when Amos was telling him where to go.
Okay, so I also want you to make a dex save as well, please. Then.
I got a 7.
You were not so lucky. Amos was so worried about making sure the ship was in the right spot that he didn't realize how close you were. So you are going to take 4 points of burn damage, fire damage.
They almost lose the dock and the afterburner.
Yeah, that would be like, God damn it, watch where you're going. I paid a lot for this damn prosthetics.
And as you light these, what remains of these creatures with this burner, you can see that the stuff just like melts almost. It just turns this black and just disintegrates in front of your eyes as the fire engulfs it and destroys it. And that's when you hear Amos and Doc in the distance. As these things are being burnt, these bodies, you hear this baying of hounds in the distance. They put up such a cacophony of sound that you can hear them from how far away they are.
I'm thinking that can't be good.
No.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No, I was going to say exactly that. So said it for me.
I look over at Doc and I'm like, we need to look at this. We need to be thinking about this ship over here. And he starts moving over that way while they're burning the bodies. He's like, and he starts moving off in that direction.
All right, and Doc would be like, "Wait, come here real quick," and he's gonna put his hand on your shoulder, and I'm gonna use spectral armor on him, and I'm gonna do all 3 boosts on him.
Wow, thank you.
What does that do?
Armor class increased by 3. Target also adds 220 saving throws, and also gain resistance to piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning damage, and that lasts for 4 hours.
Sweetness. And that, I'm assuming, pushes you up your fade.
Oh yeah, I get 5 extra.
That's the good stuff, man.
So that puts you at a total of what now?
18 AC.
Sorry, I'm like Astro.
I'll fade.
1 second.
You were at 2, right?
13 extra. Wait, 1 second. I did that wrong.
Yeah.
8 extra.
So you're up by 8. Okay, so that means
D12.
you need to roll D12. Go for it.
Woo! Okay, I got it to your body is renewed by extra regain 2d8 hit points or remove 1 condition. So I'll definitely take that.
Nice.
I would imagine as the dog like releases this like wave of green Astra to Amos, Amos would like feel himself stronger.
Yeah, you're like just pumped with this Astra. Just Amos, you said you were heading to a ship. Which ship were you talking about? The crashed alien ship? He is. Okay.
Oh, I didn't notice it was in there.
So while he's they're taking care of that and you're doing the burning of the body, do you want to make the roll for the fixing of the tool blade?
I'd love to.
Okay. I believe that would be a tech check, right?
All right. This is a 28.
There you go. So, describe what was wrong with this weapon and how you fix it.
I see one of the bolts here was loose. It got a little bit corroded by the venom, the saliva of these things, and just kind of spin around 180 degrees, tighten it a bit. There you go. Good as new.
Amos, which ship were you heading towards? I just want to verify I know what you're doing.
There was a vessel that was nearby that we were supposed to be checking.
Yes, okay. So, yes, around you, I just didn't know if you were heading back to your ship or not. The shuttle, which is right there beside you, burning these creatures, and you have about 100 feet away now, the crashed enemy ship. It did not survive the landing. It was obviously a very rough landing, and it is completely crashed. I'll just put the picture back up. And what I did not say earlier, but now that you're out of battle and have had a chance to see, is that also a bit in the distance, you know that is where the Leviathan is. It's probably a good 600 yards in the opposite direction from where this downed spaceship is.
All right, so we do need to go to the Leviathan, but yeah, this crashed alien ship is closer, so we should probably check that out cautiously, of course.
Fly over and get a better look.
Yeah, I mean, how far is the alien ship is closer to us right now than the Leviathan, right?
Of myself. Absolutely. It's like within from where you are right now, it's about 100 feet away, whereas the Leviathan is about 600 yards in the opposite direction.
Okay. Yeah, so I just yeah, we're gonna go take a look at this this craft over here, this pile of rubble.
Would you care for a reconnaissance?
Yeah, sure. We'll just take a slow walk at it, and he starts walking a little slower. I'm trying to do this
I'll
sort
have the
of
craft
broken Creole accent.
I'll have the craft like lower me down so I can jump off and try to get a closer look.
Yeah, it wouldn't take very long to set those burners on and start those the burning. So I'm just going to assume afterwards, Blade, you would have set the shuttlecraft back down on the ground. And then Red could depart if he wanted. What are Doc and Blade going to do while the Amos and Red are headed toward the other ship?
Blade is going to join them, but keeping 30 strides back or so. He's actually deployed another spirit of his that is not equipped with a laser, but instead equipped with an array of sensors. Essentially, this is a scout spheroid, and so it's able to it'll give me heat signatures and dark vision, and I can do kind of some cool scans with it. Mechanically speaking, it just gives me dark vision and advantage on perception and investigation when I see through it.
Nice.
And it can go 120 feet away from me.
Perfect. And Doc, what are you going to do?
Doc is going to be walking behind Red and Amos, but as he's walking behind them, he would have his hand in the back of Amos' shoulders for a second, and it looks like he's praying, but he's just casting Astra, and he would use Astra Infusion on all three of them, and he would boost it once so that instead of 10 extra hit points, they get 15 extra hit points.
Ooh, thank you.
That goes on the max and current, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. And so does that puts you up one more fade, does that not?
No, that puts me 2 extra.
2 more, so you are now at 10?
Yes.
Okay, so you get to roll, what is it, a D20 now?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Okay, wait 1 second.
Yeah, you see, you see Amos look back at you with his sunglasses on, and you can see the yellow kind of glowing beneath because he's got Astra glowing in his eyes, and he smiles at you, and he's like, "You need to be careful, boy."
Oh god, this is horrible. I got a 5. It says the Astra within you surges uncontrollably. Gain 4 extra fate. Do not roll again.
So now you're at 14?
Yep.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I would imagine that we see him kind of take the effects of this, right?
Yeah, describe to me
like?
what is going on with Doc at the moment. What is happening to him?
Oh,
Maybe
he's probably since it's all like blue Astra, like he feels like something's wrong, but it's just like he feels really numb, and he's just like he's kind of used to it because he has like prosthetic legs and a prosthetic arm, but he's looking at his other arm and he's moving it, but it just feels like really weird, like he just feels numb, like he can't feel anything. He's just walking forward, kind of like touching his chest.
And I can almost imagine that all of his prosthetics are kind of glowing with this blue, like blue light almost, as it's kind of.
Yeah. And his veins will be glowing blue because of when he absorbed all that extra.
So, I wonder if you can describe to me how you are approaching this alien ship. What are you doing?
with the onset of this man becoming a bug zapper before me, I'm going to pull some different things from my armor, and it kind of like unfolds, and there it kind of looks like loose material, and I'm gonna try and like disappear away from them, try to cause some distance, and it's basically for mechanical purposes. I'm trying to go stealth.
Okay, so you are going to use the distraction of Doc starting to glow as a way to get cover and kind of disappear. Is that what you're doing? Kind of?
Attempt to do so, yeah. I'd like to see without being seen, if at all possible.
Okay. And what are the rest of you doing?
Blade's gonna find an outcropping of rock or snow or whatever is on this planetoid. And it's when he pulls out his glancer that can view all of the readings on his little sensor drone. And he's gonna basically, once they're a bit close to the thing, about maybe 120 feet or so, that's when he sends out the drone completely by itself, instead of him. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have to go very far before that distance is like you're already within that distance. So before you guys head even further, you could probably send that spheroid in. So describe how it goes about doing what it wants to do. Describe to me what it's doing.
Oh, it's just imagine a little drone. It's no bigger than like 4 inches across in diameter. This little sphere, and it's just gonna fly away as it's transmitting its signal to a glancer that I have in my hands. That gives me kind of a 3D view of what it sees, like a hologram.
Okay, so as this thing approaches this ship, this is a fairly big ship. This is way bigger than your shuttle, obviously. But this is only part of a ship. It looks like something happened maybe on entry and it broke up or something. And what your spheroid is noticing is like everything is like destroyed inside. There are all sorts of debris. I'm running like there's metal sticking out probably where they're not supposed to be. Little sparks, etc., are going off of some sort of. You haven't really kind of seen this tech before, but it maybe could be like some sort of wiring. You're not quite sure, but it's sparking. The hull has been ripped to shreds. And as it disappears, I'm assuming you're sending it further in.
Yeah, he's gonna keep going. He's checking for moving bodies, any kind of things that might be hostile.
Yes.
And you said that he wouldn't recognize the tech that it is. He's actually going to be looking at that too, kind of trying to identify the make of the ship, if he can identify anything about it. But if it's outside of his knowledge as a mechanist, then I'm fine with that.
Yeah, so at this point, with the battle, this war with this alien race, there hasn't been a lot of chance to actually get a hold of any alien tech. It's all been like space battle, that kind of thing, and most stuff is rebel. This is probably the closest anybody has really ever really become to this kind of technology. So that in itself is probably pretty exciting for your character. I'm sure probably higher up somewhere in the command have a little bit more knowledge, but this stuff has not been disseminated down to your level, at least, of troops. This is definitely not human.
Okay.
So this is for sure that enemy ship that you are chasing. In fact, you can tell me who. Show you a picture, and you can tell me what they are called. Just a second here. Meanwhile, your little
It's
guy.
an alien that looks like Karen.
Yeah. So scary, I know.
I'm just kidding.
Terrifying. Run away in fear. So your little scout spheroid is going through, and you see some of the walls are like smooth, and the corridor is much taller than they would be in your human ships. And it actually comes across one of these desiccated corpses of this thing that I'm showing you in front here, but in much worse shape, like broken, gashed. It looks like it probably got tossed around something severe in the actual impact, and lies completely lifeless there in front of you. So yeah, describe to me like what the humans call this race that they've been fighting.
We call them chitters for the sound that they make.
Perfect. So as your spheroid delves further in, you see this was probably a good fair-sized ship at one point. Obviously, it's missing quite a lot of it. But you're noticing that there's not as many bodies as you would have expected to see here.
Do I see any kind of tracks or other kind of things in the ground around the ship that might suggest things having escaped it?
Make me an investigation check.
All right, and I got advantage because I'm doing it through the eyes of my scout spheroid. That's going to be a 22.
So you have your scout spheroid kind of go down to search, looking specifically for the kind of tracks, etc. And you do not find any leaving the ship, or what remains of this ship.
And I'd relay this to the two that are with me, Doc and Amon. Or Amos, yeah. I tell him that either the ship is oddly unoccupied or they're all in there still. Did I get any sight of any kind of motion or life forms in there? Besides the dead one?
Make me a perception check.
All right. Heat vision activate. That is a...
And you have advantage, right?
Yeah, that's an 18.
Yeah, are picking up no heat signatures. I mean, besides the odd from the panel or whatever these weird electrical things are.
I'll show them the scan on my glancer and show them that there's not really anything inside it that's picking up signals. So looks like it's empty. I couldn't have got anywhere.
Make me a vehicle check with intelligence.
Me?
Yeah. Or, yeah. Because you're the one specifically seeing it right now.
24.
Actually,
oh.
Okay. Well, what did you get? 24?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Yeah, you notice, now that you're thinking about it, that the part of the ship that's here, like there's far too little of a ship crashed in this area. Like this is only a piece of it, as far as you can tell. And not really it's not like, what am I trying to say? Sorry. Not a vital part of a ship that you can tell. Like it's not the bridge or control center of the ship. This is probably a peripheral part of a ship. So the lack of maybe bodies inside is not so, what's the word I'm looking for? Unusual, maybe.
Yeah, and I'll relay all this to these two.
Man, I really don't like the sound of this. Get attacked, hear howlings, and now everything's quiet.
Well, not to mention this ship is probably, I don't know, could be something in there. Red, what have you found?
Was I able to sneak up and see anything? Anything different than what they saw?
Yeah, give me an investigation check because you were able to, while they were distracted, to approach, and they don't know that you're there. So
12.
You do not find anything of note. You also don't find like any tracks leading out. You don't find anything unexpected, I guess.
I would relay that I'm seeing the same stuff that they're seeing, but not say that I'm seeing the same stuff because they didn't communicate it to me. So I would just begin to communicate to them that I'm seeing from my perspective.
That's what we do.
Well,
some valuable tech on that ship. You could pry it open and haul it back with us. Worth some more glint and this whole mission.
Yeah, but do you know how to do that? And how much is the salvage thing?
Of course I know how to do it.
Do you know how to work it?
If those things can, I certainly can.
Well, at least we can eat those hands are amazing in a boil. You know that.
All I'm
Take
saying
your
is
word
that
for it.
if it has parts, I can use it. And if I can't figure it out, I know someone that can.
Yeah, but we're on a time schedule.
Do we finish our contractual obligation first?
Yeah, I
Failing
think
to
we
see the
need
big picture here. And if we walk away from this, probably won't get another chance.
How long is it going to take? Blade?
5 minutes tops.
All right, you got 5 minutes. Move.
And Blade will take longer than 5 minutes to scavenge the ship.
How long is Blade going to take?
Until someone, like, says, hey, hurry up, Like, he'll take his time, I guess, like, thumbing through stuff.
So make me a tech check.
Nice. It's going to be a 23.
I would imagine that we're sitting outside, sort of taking intervals of sitting down, resting, monitoring the area, sort of scouting, but resting.
I need no rest. I will watch.
Yeah, Doc would definitely be sitting down because it feels funny.
I'm sorry, Blade, what did you get on that roll?
23.
23. So you managed to maybe take off fairly intact kind of panel that's still kind of like attached to a box. Like one of these is easier to remove and take it all away versus some of the, most of the things are all on the walls of the ship, and you could take the panel, but you'd leave all the instrumentation and stuff behind. Where this one is a little bit like it's maybe it was like sitting out in front of one of the doors a little bit more that are inside this place, and you can take this entire unit free, like intact with you.
He'll take it, and he'll pocket it, and he'll stroll back out.
How long do you guys let him play in there before somebody goes and talks to him?
I was messing with him about 6 minutes. So if he went longer than 10 minutes, I was probably going in to mess with him. Find him and pull him out.
So as the two of you are returning from you pulling him out and getting him to move, I need everyone to make a perception check, please.
I'm going to do this through my spheroid, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
Because it'll have like little pop-ups for me.
Can it hear?
Yes.
Okay.
15.
Was that including red?
Yes, even red.
$14.
Okay, so Blade and Amos. Maybe it's just the way the sound carries through what remains of the ship or whatever, amplifies it slightly, but you hear this while the two outside do not. That baying that you heard when those creatures, when you started burning those creatures, you hear them again. As far as you can tell, maybe they're closer than they were before.
Yeah, we need to move.
Yeah.
It's past
I
tense.
hear him too.
You like that ship? You can stay there. Come on.
Give me a second. I almost got it loose. Gets it loose.
All right. I leave the as we're walking to the ship and get on it, and we light the burners, and I leave the whisper link open as you can hear the engines sort of flare up, so he knows.
What are you guys doing?
Doc is if Amos is heading back in the ship, is gonna head back that way.
Yeah, I would imagine the three of us are watching over the ship area, but telling Blade that we're ready to go. Come on.
And Blade will go into a sprint, or I have like a brisk jog, something that almost only something that an athlete could do. He makes it look easy because of his robotic legs. As he runs.
Did you get what you were looking for?
Yeah, good haul.
What'd you find?
This, and he pulls it out and shows them, and it's a bunch of trash to you guys probably, unless you have a mind for mechanics or technology. He's like, this, such a nice price on the how do you say, unsavory market.
Oh yeah.
So where to next?
All right, we need to check on that ship.
All right,
Our own.
get out of the pilot seat, you dickhead.
Who's the dickhead?
Whoever's in my chair, as he walks over to the pilot's chair.
Amos gets up and says,
You didn't
"Oh,
kick
wait
the
down a
engine
minute.
right. God damn it.
Whatever.
Burn out the engines 3 times as fast this way. God damn it. He just shoves you aside.
I'm gonna go boil those knuckles."
Can we
Boil
just
your
all
own
get
knuckles.
along?
What is dick?
Something I used to have. Something that he can't find anymore.
Oh,
What happens when you look like the Tin Man?
Yeah, well, not all of us can have a pretty face like yours.
It's okay, you're pretty too.
I don't have a face.
Yeah, that's a
You
good
get-
thing.
need some privacy or what?
Shut the fuck up and let me steer this goddamn
Yeah,
thing.
are you gonna fly or are you gonna sweet talk your buds here?
Yeah, we'll up yours. And then Blade will pilot the thing.
Where are you headed to?
To the downed ship that we were tasked to find.
I think you said it was about 300 yards away.
The Leviathan is 600. Yeah.
Okay.
So as you power this shuttle up once more, you make the short haul over to this much, much larger ship, the Leviathan. The Leviathan is one of those battleships, a smaller type of battleship, one that can actually go down to surface and deploy troops and then go back up and fight. Unlike the one that you came in on, which is still circling the planetoid waiting for you. You guys are on the shuttle that came down on it. So the Leviathan here is fairly massive compared to your tiny shuttle. Where do you go? What do you do in your shuttle?
All right, there it is, boys.
What kind of state is it in as we see it?
It looks to be in good shape. Like, as far as you can tell, like it landed like it was supposed to. You see some of the lights are still on, shining outside. There's no marks. I mean, there's probably a few like battle scars from the battle that had happened earlier, but for all intents and purposes, this ship is in really good shape.
Let's try opening comms then.
Indeed.
Right, and boop, I press the comms button. Try to establish a signal between our set and theirs, if possible.
Yeah, we probably have established radio signals that.
You cannot raise them over the comms.
Beautiful.
It went dead about 24 hours ago, or longer now because you've been here. So probably 48 hours ago was the last time any communication to this ship has happened. And now that you're here closer, you still cannot raise them on the comms.
Looking at this picture, is it entry through the front, middle, or the side? Or is that based on interpretation? See what I'm saying?
Sorry, I'm muted and I was in the wrong wrong screen. Yeah, you know, there's probably both entry points. The back end looks more like it's probably where the big troops, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like the unloading area where you open the doors and you can kind of all come out at once. Yeah. There's probably smaller man doors elsewhere for like getting outside when you're, flying or whatever, and to do maintenance on the ship. But where those lights are is probably the main entry point into the ship. At least normally, yeah.
Red, you were going to say something?
I was just using military terminology for locations of the craft. So that's like the bridge that's at the top there.
I would say that you couldn't see the bridge from this picture. It would be towards the right-hand side, so it kind of goes off the frame, and it would be in that area. But yeah, it would be kind of in the top, but further down. You're seeing the back end of the ship here.
Is there any way that we can fly by the dock station and see if any ships like left, or if there's any ships in there?
Yeah, this kind of ship doesn't hold like smaller ships itself. It would be more of almost like a troop transport if they're going down on the ground. Most of the time, this kind of ship would be up in the air, fighting.
Or it drops and releases troops and then lifts back up?
Yeah, it has the ability to be able to land, which is why it was sent on this mission in the first place, because it could land, take care of the problem, and then return without having to have another ship wait for it. But it's not like a carrier vessel. It's not going to have a bunch of smaller ships inside of it.
So the bay isn't somewhere we would be able to land our little ship in either, right?
No, you probably couldn't make it. You could probably land just outside it if you wanted to.
Sounds like that's our option. Only option.
Yeah.
Just a matter of what entry point you want to start at, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna have to start at the side vent, side stairwell probably, because they haven't lowered the front, and we don't know if the power's on or not. And Doc's about to go nuclear, so be prepared. He might explode. All right. We need to stick together and move slowly. You want to send one of those scout drones up ahead?
Yeah. Easily done.
Okay. Yeah, and actually, because I'm Voidborn, I move a little slower than you Forgeborn. So
Pretty sure it's all the kelp rations you've been eating.
yeah, that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Who doesn't like kelp? I mean, kelp
Me.
grows anywhere, right?
Probably better than eating electricity.
I do not eat electricity.
Well, yeah, it doesn't fill your belly. The belly, yeah, doesn't help. So we start moving forward, and I usually leave Red up to his own devices as far as what he wants to do because he's a scout. But we also have mechanists who can send in a scout drone. Not to say that one supersedes the other, but drones are drones. Sometimes scouts are better in certain situations, even though Blade doesn't admit to that.
The scout probably costs less to repair.
Right. The scout actually heals like a human, you know.
If you're done yapping, you can just.
Yeah, because the scout eats kelp, and kelp is healthy for you humans.
Just get on with it. Just cut to the chase, will you?
We're cutting to it. We're moving.
So where do you send your spheroid, Blade?
What do you guys think?
Probably in whatever into a door before we go into it, at least. Whichever one we want to approach first.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I would imagine that there's a switchback stairwell that leads up to an entryway into the side. That's what it looks like from the image.
Yeah, not so much staircase, but at one point you can see that there's like a ladder that would allow you to get towards one of the hatches.
So I'll send it there.
Yeah.
And this spheroid can open locks, etc., with a little tool it has. So even if it is locked or otherwise sealed, it can probably break in. So I'll send this little drone.
Does it need to make a check?
It will have to make a check to unlock any doors, but not if it's already unlocked.
Okay, so you approach one of these hatches, and it definitely has to make a check.
All right. 18.
Okay, that is enough to open this hatch. Effectively, there is like an airlock area on the inside of this. I guess somebody actually has to open the door, right? Open the hatch. The hatch is now unlocked.
It can open the hatch.
Okay. Yeah, so it unlocks and opens the hatch, and you can see inside that there is an airlock area where you can go and like to pressurize into the proper breathing atmosphere, so that like on the inside would be regular air, old earth air kind of dealio, protecting you from the vacuums of space. Look at this airlock. What do you do?
I think the scout will progress through this airlock further.
Does it close the hatch behind it, or does it open into the ship?
I think it's smart to close the airlock behind it and open the next one.
Okay, and so you do so. The rest of you are staying outside as this is all happening? That's correct? Just assuming?
Yeah, I'll be relaying anyone that wants to to know about what's going on, because I can show them on my little glancer what the spheroid is up to.
How far away can the spheroid go from you?
120 feet.
Okay, so it's going to get up and through. It opens up. So once the airlock closes behind it, it kind of pressurizes. It opens up the hatch into the ship. And it's met with darkness.
The spheroid can see in the dark. 120
Yeah.
feet.
So what it sees is darkness. Emergency lighting kind of is on. Like sparks, etc. Like something kind of happened here, but it's hard to see what.
Is he seeing any shear marks or gouges or melted spots on those walls? So those are cracks in the glass.
Yeah, they're like so those are like panels, etc. So it looks like there's some sort of ammo fire might have happened in here at some point.
So I'm telling all this to those who care to listen. Looks like if there are any survivors, they're still in there. Firefight happened in there. Who knows who's still alive?
Well, it's interesting that there's the radio silence and all that. You'd think that they'd be willing to talk to comrades.
Maybe they're stuck in a place where they can't get to the radio.
Yeah, that's true, but whispered links are easy.
Yeah, well, you'd think. It's probably the point where we go in on foot, huh?
Yeah.
I'm kind of reaching the limit of the range on this spheroid.
Yeah, and with
Signals get a little
that,
crackly.
Amos is actually starting to get up and move in that direction. Quickly for him, which is slower for others.
Man, this is a bad idea.
What exactly
Doc, don't be
were
a
we supposed
puss.
to
Come
do?
on. You can do this.
I'm coming, but I'm just saying if those things we fought earlier are in there, it's gonna be a fun night. That's all I can say.
Yeah. What were you saying, Red?
I forgot. Sorry.
That's all right. You'll think of it if it's important.
You
So
told me nothing
we.
I say is important.
Oh, it'll be important. I would imagine we're probably leading, since the drone has led the way. We're gonna follow in.
I'll pass you up and move in front of you. 'Cause I'm
Easily
faster.
because I move slower than you do.
Yeah.
So all four of you could probably fit inside that airlock together. There's enough room in it if you wanted to go in all together.
As long as the captain didn't get too much help.
Would you like me to go first and go through the whole process and get on the other side and then you go through, or?
Yeah, you can either. Sorry.
I think it would be better if we stick together.
Yeah, it'd probably be good if we kind of cleared this together.
As all four of you make the climb and up into the airlock, you shut the door behind you, and you wait for this the section to pressurize and allow you to open the lock into the ship. We are going to take a bio break.
I'm a machine. I don't need one.
I'm not, and I do. So we'll be back in 5 minutes. Take a break, grab a drink, and we'll see you shortly. So who do we have back so far?
I'm back.
Me.
How are you guys doing?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good. Can't wait to see what happens next.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna explode.
I might.
You've got so much Astra coursing through your veins right now.
You are Astra.
It's only gonna get worse. And I'm at that point where I might as well go big or go home, so it's gonna be fun.
I think you're gonna do both.
Go big and then go home.
Maybe. I will say this: the being able to roll on the table twice definitely helped me out because I would have been really screwed by now.
Now you're on the fun chart. You get to do all the fun sorts of things. So, are we all back? I think we are.
Aye, aye.
All right, let's get into this.
I am here. Let's do this.
All right. So you open up the hatch, the airlock door into the main part of the ship. And you see what your scout spheroid showed you before, this hallway. Dark, deserted, a little worse for the wear. But otherwise quiet. What do you do? There's like hissing, electrical hissing noises every once in a while.
So
I'll
who
creep
volunteers to
ahead.
go first?
I'll creep
never
ahead.
mind.
Red, can
I'm
you
a
take
treader.
point?
Doc is gonna stay in the rear.
Where do you go, Red? You get to the.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you go a short little hallway, and then it goes left, right. Which way?
Left.
It's more of the same kind of deserted, dark hallway. How far away from the other players do you go before?
How far is it till a turn?
Probably another 50 feet. Like here is probably 15 to this first one, and then probably another 50 before you're going to get to another.
I guess I should at least have looked down both hallways before I went one way. I'm gonna keep going a little bit. I'm just gonna slow my pace, so I'm up to 30 to 40 feet away from them.
Yeah, it's the same old bit. Just I want you to make me a perception check.
Okay. Modified 20.
It is disturbingly quiet in the ship. You don't hear a sound. But as you're traveling, you start to notice this almost like a gel here and there around on the floor, on the wall, every once in a while. Some of them glow a little bit, like with a blue light. It's not very much, but you've caught a couple of glances at it as you've been walking down this, moving cautiously down this corridor.
A gelatinous substance on the ground?
Yeah, and on the walls, yeah.
I would relay that to them. I would say that it was all clear so far. Could I take a closer look and see if it looks like the same flesh of the things that we killed before?
Make me an investigation check.
Okay. No, 5.
Yeah, you can't tell. The stuff before didn't glow blue, so.
I would also tell our doc that, he might like it. It's blue aster, right? Or, well, maybe. And I would probably hold my position right there and let them catch up.
Oh man, this I don't like this.
What are the rest of you doing?
Blade's spheroid is going to be keeping pace with Red, covering his 6 basically, while Blade kind of lags behind.
You can make a perception check for your spheroid.
15.
So you notice it's just the same things that has already been discussed. Amos, Doc,
Can you repeat that?
or what are you two doing?
Oh, we're following behind, I would imagine.
Yeah, we're following.
Keeping about 40 feet or so back? Is that where you're going to close the distance a little?
Yeah, 30, 40. It varies based on speed, but yeah, we're between 30 and 40 feet from him.
And Blade, you are with them as well? And just having your spheroid go with Red? Is that?
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I would just note it to the droid, and since he can see through it, right?
Yeah,
I would just point out.
I can see through the drone.
I'd point out to that, and then I would keep moving. So that way, when they get there, if they want to stop and investigate it, but then I would start moving continue down the hallway that I'm on.
Yep.
Unless I have, yeah. I would be looking for, is there any kind of markings or anything that says bridge this way, mess hall this way, or anything like that?
No, not that you see at this point, but as you are approaching, you come across that a T intersection, I guess, you're on the T part. So towards your right at this point, another corridor juts off, and you can see when you look down it that there's a bigger room just down the hall, probably another 20 feet, and then opens up on its left, basically towards kind of the way you were going originally. Could be, you're unsure, but from where you are relative to the ship at this moment, you think it might be like a mess hall kind of area, that big room that's there. Chances are.
I'll head that way because I know Amos likes food.
Make me another perception check as you near these. It's almost like a double door to this big room. You can't see inside at this point, but so once you make me a perception.
I got an 8.
And if the spheroid is staying with him, absolutely, you can go ahead too, Blade.
It was perception, right?
Yes.
14.
Okay, so no, Blade, you notice that this goo, this gelatinous, this substance, whatever it is around here as well, maybe a little bit thicker than it was, like more often down this corridor than it was in that previous one. But other than that, you see nothing, you hear nothing. There's no sounds coming from within that big room. What do you guys do?
The big room has a door. It has a way off of it, besides the way we're coming. The mess hall.
Yeah, you haven't actually entered it yet. So like you're in the hallway outside of it, and you're standing in front of like the, for all intents and purposes, like a double door sized doors. It's probably able to slide both to the left and the right if you open it. But you have not yet gone inside, so you do not know if there's another exit from this room. But the corridor continues.
I would wait for Blade to see what we saw and relay it to Amos in order for Amos to give us the next step.
Amos, what's the next order for your boys here?
I missed the last part. What are we seeing here? Still not seeing anything?
There's some gelatinous substance on the walls. Glows faintly blue in places. Your two scouts have come across a big set of doors. Probably leads into a mess hall they're anticipating. Let me wait for the orders.
Yeah, we need to have, we need to get some. Does it freely burn? Because otherwise, I think that we need to just spark it up with the arc tool. This gelatinous stuff. But I think that we should try to open the door. But we should probably all be there before you open the door to the mess hall.
Hold up, before we go anywhere, I have a little idea. And Doc would close his eyes for a second, like trying to focus, and he would start sniffing around. And I want to use Astra Sense. Says as an action, you can sense the presence of Astra within 30 feet of you.
As you do so, you sense it faintly in this gelatinous substance that is pointed out to you by Blade. The stuff that glows. It's definitely probably glowing because of the Astra within it.
And what color is it glowing?
Blue. Well, I say blue because it's mostly blue, but it's not the blue of the Astra that you are used to. If that makes sense. It's
Turquoise.
a different shade. Yeah, like if this is Astra, it is not a color that you actually have seen before, but your best guess is like that it's a blue, some sort of blue.
Huh. And that said, I don't see any like hints around the area other than that.
No, you don't sense anything.
Okay. So he would look at Amos and that blade and he would be like, I'm gonna do something really stupid, just letting you know. And he's gonna take his hand and dip it into whatever gooey thing that is, and he's gonna lick it and see what happens.
So you reach out and you touch this.
I would touch it with my metal hand if that helps any.
Okay, so you don't actually feel then what it feels like. But it's spongy, right? It has, when you were looking at it, it was kind of glistening and you thought it'd be maybe more liquid than it is. When you touch it, it actually seems to have like substance in it. And then you eat it.
Well, I guess. I mean, I'm gonna lick it, so it would be the same thing.
Yeah, Amos is actually starting to say something as he turns around and he sees Doc just begin to put this up to his mouth, and he's mid-sentence as he's like, "Yeah, we need to open those doors together and make sure that we go into." And he's kind of staring at Doc as he
puts this substance into his mouth. And Doc, it tastes not unpleasant, actually. You were thinking, something else. But it's not too unpleasant. And it has a little bit of solidness to it. Almost like you were, I don't know, eating some sort of mushroom or something. You can describe to me what it actually tastes like.
I don't know. I guess like maybe it would taste kind of like yogurt, but it just like not the same like substance. Maybe so it feels like cake, but it tastes like yogurt.
Mm-hmm. How's that doing for you, Doc?
Well, I felt the Astra in it, so I figured maybe by ingesting some, I would figure something out. But I don't know. I don't feel anything. It just tastes weird.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait, give you a couple, minutes to see first before I try it myself. But I think we need to both be careful open the mess hall doors.
I got you. Well, lead the way. He would probably take the rest of the goo and just wipe it on the wall.
Yeah, I would suggest not eating more of that. It's probably not good. You don't know who it came from.
It's for science.
Science, right? Okay. As long as you're not getting sick from that, that's the most important part.
True. All right, well, let's get out of here.
Sorry, Amos just looking at him like, I can't believe he just ate that. I have to admit, though, that depending on his background, that's probably inspiration worthy. Just saying.
You are probably right, and I am terribly at remembering inspiration. So, absolutely, take an inspiration point for eating that goop.
He might be on his hands and knees later.
You might need that inspiration.
But
Oh god, that's not right, man.
So the four of you now stand in front of these doors. What are you doing?
I would imagine that we're probably it's double doors, right?
Yeah, it looks like when they open, they're going to open from the middle and go both left and right.
Yeah, so I would imagine that there's two of us ready to pull it open, and then I'm thinking that we're gonna have blades scout kind of up and to the side, sort of scanning inward, to see what's in there. So we're gonna open quickly and kind of stand back. So that nobody's in front of the door in case there's any issue.
So as you reach forward, you said it was Red. Red and Amos are opening the door?
Yeah, if he's willing to. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so as Red and you reach and open up the door, Blade, your scout spheroid immediately sees a dark, deserted room. What looks to have been mess hall rec area. Tables are overturned. Some sort of struggle looks like it might have gone on in here. But right now there is no sound. And you can make me a perception check.
11.
And there is nothing moving inside.
Seems empty, guys. Good news.
Nice. All right, so I think it's safe to enter. I think Red and I look at each other, and then we start to step in there.
Yep.
Yeah, the dog will be right behind them.
Now, as you guys enter into the room, Blade, are you going in as well, or are you staying outside?
I'll go in too.
As you guys enter into the room, and you see more of it, and your eyes adjust a little bit. Well, Blade, you can see all this because your sphere has dark vision. Excuse me. But this is definitely almost like a fight scene, I guess. Like I said, the tables are overturned. Stuff's all over the floor. It's quite in a disarray, but it is very much deserted. As you're walking through, you notice that there is another exit on the far end of the room, leading to another corridor that goes out the other side. Red, you notice that there are piles, I guess, of things around the room, like heaps of, you're not sure what they are. But they don't look like they would have normally belonged in this room at one point. What do you guys do?
Looks like a good time in here. Wonder if there's any food left. Other than that wonderful gooey substance.
Don't judge, man. I never give you shit whenever you eat whatever you eat.
Hey, marshmallow topping, I didn't judge you. Just saying. It's not something you find in the military barracks and all that. So, there are no bodies in here. It just looks like it was a big...
Make me a perception check.
That is a total of a 16.
You also see these odd piles around the room.
Piles. They look to be neatly tucked together, or...
No. Mounds, I guess you just say. Like they don't look like furniture. There's these mounds.
All right, so I'm going to step forward and pull out one of my weapons and a blade and kind of cut it open.
So you approach one of the mounds?
Cautiously, yes.
And what are the rest of you doing while he is doing that?
I'm getting my spear out and I'm slowly behind him, like 3 or 4 steps.
Blade's gonna deactivate his scout drone, and then get ready to redeploy at a different kind of drone, if need be, while he gets his pistol loaded and readied.
And Red?
What you doing, Red? Chad, you with us?
Chad, you're muted if you're talking.
Yeah, then I got water on my screen. I couldn't get it unmuted. Sorry. I'm lock and loaded, going in with him.
Okay, so Amos, as you approach this mound, you have this blade. What did you say you were using? You had your what blade?
In this case, I just pulled my short blade, which is a martial weapon that I have.
Okay. And as you approach this mound with your blade drawn, when you get within 5 feet of it, it moves. And I need all of you to make an initiative rolls.
I got a 13.
Got a 9.
And Red, what did you get?
Which check was it?
An initiative. Roll for initiative.
17, sorry.
So, Red, you are first. As Amos approached this mound, it moved. What do you do?
I'm going to have to. We short rested technically in this time span. While we were in the burning the last bodies, was that a short rest at all, or?
I would say not when you were burning the bodies and up to that, but when you came over to this area, you probably could have had. At this point, like while you've been in here, you probably could have had a short rest. Consider too, like when you went into the airlock and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
All right. Are they surprised at all, or?
No.
Okay. So it hasn't acted yet, though, right?
It has not acted. No.
Okay. So I will get advantage. I'm going to. He's not in the way of me line of sight if I try to shoot at it.
Yeah, you'd be fine. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to energy weapons my pistol and shoot at it. Advantage. Same exact number. Okay. Altogether that is 12.
You are not expecting it to move, and so your shot goes just wide. Like it must have, maybe it nicked it or something, but it did not find purchase on this thing. Maybe it moved out of the way just enough.
Okay.
For all intents, that is a miss. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to I get an extra attack from Hunter's Instinct, so I'm going to use that one. And that's also at an advantage, right? First turn advantage. Yeah. So 17 plus 24.
That, however, does hit.
Okay. And that is my 8 go. 1 from the pistol and 4 from force. And then I have extra attack from just being 5th level. And that will be even higher. 7 from the pistol and 2 from force.
Okay, so red lays into this thing, littering it with weapon fire. And that will bring us to Doc.
Alrighty, let's see. I think Doc is gonna point his spear at it, and he would push a button and it would shoot a red Astra bolt out of it.
Okay, you have to roll to attack, I believe, on that.
I got a 15.
15 does hit.
Alright, 6 damage.
And again, as your this bolt streams out of your spear, it seems to partially pass through this substance without hurting it. Doesn't do nearly as much damage as you were expecting.
Alright, after seeing that, he would back away some, like take cover just in case anything goes down.
Okay, that brings us to Blade.
Blade deploys his combat spheroid. And he had readied. And he has his gun out and he's going to shoot at these things.
Hey, make me a roll.
16 to hit.
That hits.
It's going to do 15 points of piercing.
You wail into this thing good. It is still moving at this point.
He's going to follow it up with the spheroid laser, which is a 19 to hit for 5 force damage.
Again, it slightly fizzles almost on this material and doesn't do nearly as much damage as you would hope.
And that's the end of my turn.
And this thing stands up. At the same time, behind you, this is where you now notice 3 more mounds stand up and come at you. We'll deal with the one in front. Amos, you are there. It launches itself at you. $15 and an 11. So I think the 15 connects with you. So it launches itself at you. Its claws try to rake you, but probably glance off of your armor. However, its mouth manages to find purchase, and it takes a bite from you. You are going to take... Oh, nasty. 8 points of piercing damage and 5 points of force damage. And I need you to make a con check, please. Con save. Oh, yes, you would still have the spectral armor. So forget this. The bite looked like it would have been right on you, but however, the spectral armor deflected this bite, and so you take nothing.
Yeah, this blue astral armor is additionally protecting me and pushes him back and actually reduces the damage that I took from the other two as well. You said it was piercing, slashing, or
The bite.
bludgeoning?
It was it was going to be like a piercing and force. You would take 0 because the bite did not connect. So you take 0 points of damage.
Well, I have resistance, so I have half damage, right?
No, 0 because it hit AC 15, but your AC is bumped up because of your spectral armor.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so it didn't even hit you.
Okay.
Yeah, so now we're taking the 3 behind. And in the back were Blade and Doc, correct?
Doc one behind, but he took cover, so I don't know if... Yeah.
Cover from the thing in front of you, though, right? You didn't notice the ones behind you?
Yeah, I probably didn't notice
Yeah.
one behind me.
So there'll be 1 on each of you, and the third one will go to Blade. Okay, so Blade, one of them launches itself at you and buries its face into your... do you have a fleshy shoulder?
Sure.
Doesn't manage to get much of a purchase though, so you take 4 points of piercing damage. No, sorry, 3 points of piercing damage and 2 points of force damage as the bite connects. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
17.
Okay. And the claw actually made a crit on you. So you are going to take 7 points of slashing damage as its claw rakes you as it bites upon you. The one launches itself at you, Doc, and is going to connect with its claw, dealing you 8 points of slashing damage. But the bite misses you.
You said 8 points?
8 points, yeah.
Okay.
The third one stands and stares at you with this blank look. I mean, they're humanoid, but there is nothing behind these eyes that you can see. But as it does, all of a sudden, Doc, you feel the Astra surrounding you change. And I need you to make a DC 13 con save, please.
I got 21 total.
Okay. You are able to shrug off whatever this thing is doing to your Astra. It was trying to manipulate and use it against you, but you were able to shrug that off and nullify whatever it was intending. And that will bring us to Amos.
So, what is the nearest enemy to me?
The one right in front of you that you were about to poke.
This mound. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
It's actually on you, I believe. Or tried to be on you.
trying to be on me. Okay. How far is the kitchen from where I'm at?
Maybe another 15 feet away.
Okay. So I can see it from where I'm at. I would like to void slip into there, which is a 20-foot movement.
Okay.
And so that takes me 1 point into Astrofade, 1 more point. And I would like to grab a... is there something, an implement in here that is like a... like some towels or something that I can wrap around a long stick?
Make me an investigation check.
Okay. Looking to make like a torch. That's a 15.
Yeah, you would be able to find, you root through a couple of drawers real quick and you find some, I'm going to say fabric, some sort of like microcloth.
Towel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I wrap it around like a stick of some sort, and I quickly turn on the stove and try to light it. And so I now have a torch, I would imagine. And
Yeah, it's kind of smolders unless you would put some sort of accelerant or fluid on it. The towel itself will fire, but it's going to be a smoky slow burn. You know what I mean?
What type of burners are these? Are they gas?
No, they wouldn't be gas. If anything, they'd be electric, probably like electric heat. Like heat hot enough to.
So if I poured a little oil on the top of it, it's a kitchen. So all right. So I take the rest of my turn to do that if you'll allow it.
Sure. And so you will have nice oil-soaked towel torches that will be burning.
Okay.
That will bring us back to red.
Have any of these things fallen or?
No, but the one that is in front of you looks very damaged.
In that case, I'm going to attempt to hit it with the hammer. Since it's in melee range right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to have disadvantage, so 11.
11 is a miss.
Okay, extra attack.
Yep.
17.
That is a hit.
8 bludgeoning damage. Plus 10 bludgeoning damage.
You can describe to me how this thing falls.
I first had a malfunction with the hammer yet again, but not enough like where it was damaged, and then I kind of like banged it and then hit it, and it went off right, and it just sprays a hole through it onto the other ones next to it, and then it kind of like oozes down off and slumps across the ground and kind of dissipates.
Perfect. That will bring us. Well, you can move at this point if you want to.
How are there people? What's the kind of orientation of people?
So, if you were to turn like 180 degrees around, you would be facing Blade and Doc, and behind them, surrounding them, are 3 more of these creatures. And they're probably, I'm not sure how close they got to you, so they're probably about 15 feet away from you, but definitely within your range of closing.
I'd like to put myself between creatures and the other companions of mine and have my pistol ready to shoot at them next time.
Yeah, you will be within, like if you were to put yourself between them, you will be engaged with those other creatures if you move forward. Like they are currently right now engaged with Blade and Doc.
Oh, okay. I'll run into there and try to add my chaos to the mix.
Absolutely. Okay, that brings us to Doc. Doc, you have one right on you and one close by. And there's one on Blade who is like beside you, like short distance from you. What are you doing?
Well, Doc is probably gonna do something really stupid, but he's gonna raise his hand and start waving it around. And as he waves it, you can see this little green dome start building all around them. That's him casting a Masahoris Refuge. And I'm gonna boost it all the way up. And I guess 30 minutes extra duration. Creatures attempting to enter the sphere take 2d8 force damage and are pushed back 10 feet. And creatures within the sphere gain benefit of short rest.
Okay, so you are making this sphere. Are you doing it just around? It's a 10-foot radius around you, right?
Yeah. And that would put me at 16 over.
Okay, so roll me a d20. In your case, 2d20.
Alrighty, I got a 12. 1 second. I'll tell you what that does.
That is everything. Your armor and weapons immediately
Yeah,
gain 1 damage condition.
that's cool. I'll take that.
Okay, so everything in your inventory and every weapon and armor has 1 damage condition. What does that mean for it? I've never had to do this.
Yeah, no, the dog would just, he's not gonna move. He's just staying there.
Okay, so that will bring us onto Blade.
If I remember correctly, there's one that's right on me, right?
There is one right on you, yes. I believe he just took a bite from your shoulder.
Yeah, he's going to cause his spheroid to detonate right behind this thing.
Oh,
So we need
nice.
this thing to make, and any other creature within 10 feet of my spheroid. I'm gonna position it so it won't include myself, or as I'd like to include not as many of my allies as possible, and also more of these things as possible. But I mean, I'll take my losses when I can here.
I say you can, the one that's in front of you for sure, and the one that was staring at Doc the last time will be caught within this blast.
All right, they need to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay, one got a 7, and the other one 16.
So 16 passes. So the one who fails takes. Sorry, go ahead.
That'll be the one that's right in front of you.
Yep. 9 piercing plus 4 fire for 13 damage total.
4 fire and 9 piercing. Okay.
And then the one that passed will take 4 piercing and 2 fire.
Okay. So the one that's right in front of you lights up from this blast, this explosion, and just starts to shrivel and disintegrate in front of your eyes. It's still there, but it is definitely very hurt.
Then he'll shoot at it with point blank shot, I guess.
Okay, so that's a disadvantage to shoot that short like that.
Actually, no. He'll take the opportunity attack to back up a bit.
Okay, so you're going to take an opportunity. You'll allow an opportunity attack. Okay. Oh, that does hit with the claw. So you're going to take 4 points of slashing damage.
Okay. And then he's going to take 20 points of piercing.
20 points of piercing. Okay, it is still standing. But
that's my turn. I moved. Yep, did all my things.
Okay. The one that you have tried to obliterate in front of you steps closer to you. It follows you. It bite. AC 17, does that hit you?
Me?
Yes. Yeah.
17?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so it will both connect with its claw and its bite. Okay, so the claw is going to do 8 slashing damage to you. The bite is going to do 3 piercing and 1 force.
3 piercing, 1 force.
Yeah, and I need you to make a con save.
Nat 1 for a total of 2.
Okay. That brings us to the 2 that were by Doc. So you put up this force field, right? They are both going to try to enter it. They are not smart. You can roll damage as they try to enter the sphere and cause it to pulsate.
That's 15 damage.
15?
Yep.
Okay. And then they are flung back 10 feet from that. That will be their turn. Amos. Brings us to you.
All right. I am going to avoid slip in a yellowy haze as he reemerges back with his crew. And as he does so, just checking the battlefield. Where's the biggest clump of enemy right now?
About 10 feet away from Amos. 10 feet away from Doc. Doc is glowing. He's got this force field around him, and 2 of these creatures tried to get at him and were flung back. So they're probably from where you were and where they were, probably 20 feet, probably from where you were in the kitchen there. So you could avoid slip to them if you wanted to. And then there's one on Blade.
Okay, so the group of them, I step within 15 feet of them, and there's probably some loose object within this mess hall.
Oh,
Be it
yeah.
a plank of some sort or some piece of wood.
Absolutely, there's broken tables everywhere.
Okay, and I launch the torch up in the air, and I bring my hands together as you see this expulsion of magnetic sort of astra happen as adhesion is caused, and I am making this torch that I just created adhere to this smaller object in between the clump of enemy. So they all have to make a DC check based on my spell check, which is my spell DC of 4, 7. Was it 16, 15?
They both fail.
Okay.
So they're kind of going to be stacked between this object and then the torch that's flying at them. Is that?
So not only did they take I would imagine that they're not only taking the bludgeoning damage from the torch that's flying at them, but then the fire damage that's coming from it, because it's also, and the adhesion lasts for up to an hour. Yeah, I have to concentrate, but I can hold it for an hour. So basically, these 2 objects are adhered on both sides and caught and sandwiching these guys in between them. So they're going to take 1d6 force damage. So that's 2 points of bludgeoning, basically, from the... But then I would imagine there's fire damage because they catch fire, right?
Yeah, I would say do d6.
Okay. That is 5 points. But it probably catches.
It will, yeah, it would be an ongoing effect, I believe. We'll do that as that. I'm going to say that, where's your astrophade? Did that push you over your limit?
I am at 3. Because those are, each void slip is 1. And then, actually I'd be at 4. But, yeah, but I'm still under 5.
Okay, so you're still fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good question, though.
That brings us to red.
Did the one that was pretty badly off in front of Blade, did that one get dispatched?
No, that one is still around.
And then there's just one more other than that?
2 more, but they are currently sandwiched between a board and a torch.
Do I have line of sight on them?
Absolutely.
I'm going to attempt to shoot them.
Okay.
And I'm going to do my first attack. Nope, that's a 1. My second attack. Not much better. I'm gonna have to action surge.
Okay.
Another 1. Wow, I'm shooting terribly. Oh, you know what? I wouldn't have been able to. Oh yeah, I would need to reload now. 2 shots. Yeah. Yep. Nothing.
Okay.
All missing.
Doc.
Unless a 12 hits on the last one.
No, 12 does not hit. No.
Okay, thank you.
Doc. What are you doing?
Oh god. How many are left?
Oh, there's 3 of them still left. There's 2 that are about 10 feet away from you and are burning, and then there's one that's closer and is on Blade.
Gotcha. If I was to take out my gun, does that take an action or?
To take it out? No.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, I would take my short scatter gun out and I will shoot the one that is next to Blade.
Okay. Make me a roll.
Does a 17 hit?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, that's 8 damage.
You can describe to me how the one in front of Blade dies.
So Doc has this like big scatter gun, and he's probably really awkward, like trying to aim it at it. And when he lets go, he shoots it like right between the neck and the face, and it just like big like chunks of his face is just going in the floor. Like you can't really tell. Like it's just blood everywhere.
It's ooze everywhere. There's this almost like a black ichor.
Yeah, blues.
Yeah. Just,
And as a bonus action, I will heal Amos and Blade.
okay.
Yeah, I might as well bump it all up.
Might as well.
Why not? I'm just trying to find it here. So. Okay, so that was 1, 2. So that was 2 extra. So 1 second, that's 13 over.
You were already at it after save 14. Oh, Oh, you got a short rest, so that went down.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, yeah. So 13. Yeah, so heal them up. Do your heal, and then we'll roll on the chart.
Okay. The heal is 2d. Wait, 2d8. All right, so both of them get healed for 11. And on the extra shard, I roll a 2.
What does that do? Your eyes glow. You have advantage on attack, ability, and saving throws until the start of your next turn. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and Doc is not moving anywhere. He's just saying.
Blade. The one in front of you just fell to the ground, slumped into a pile of gelatinous goop. What are you doing?
Blade gives you a nod as you hear him exhale. He whizzes around. There's still more, right?
Yes, there's 2.
Okay. Is there one that's attacking one of his
No,
allies?
they are both currently about 10 feet away from where Doc is situated, and they have a torch basically glued onto them.
Oh,
In
that's right.
vicinity. Yeah.
He's gonna just keep shooting at them. It's 22 to hit.
Yes, that hits.
It's gonna be 10 points of piercing.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay, so they have this thing in front of them. Okay, so I guess they were trying to pull it away from them, which means a strength check. They failed that. So they are still stuck right where they're at. And that will bring us to Amos's turn, and you may roll for this ongoing fire damage that's happening. Roll another d6.
Okay, that's an additional 5 points of damage.
Okay, they are becoming very withered and non-substantial, but they are still existing, and you do not know why or how. It is your turn.
I am going to step into this refuge. I don't know if that takes more than an action to do so.
I don't know if you can. You are barred. If you try to go into it, you are going to take the damage because you'd have to be in it to begin with.
Oh, okay. Then I will cast an energy tendril on the nearest one to me.
Okay.
And that is going to choose a creature within 30 feet. They need a dex saving throw. The DC is 15. Otherwise, it's pulled to 15 feet to me in a straight line. And
yeah, it failed.
So that is a bonus action. And then I will use my short blade to attack them.
So can you pull both or just one of them?
Just one of them. Choose
Okay.
a creature.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. So one of them, you manage to slide it away from the torch, and it comes straight
Yeah.
at you, and you hit it for what was your roll? Your attack roll?
Yeah, the attack roll is a total of 16 to hit.
Yes, that will hit.
Okay, and that's going to be 7 points of damage.
You can describe how this action finishes it off.
So as it's coming forward, I just punch out with it, and punching out, I shear the neck off as the body topples away from the head, and they both sort of separate and fall separate of one another.
Beautiful. Kind of gruesome. Beautifully gruesome. That brings us back to Red. There is one left.
And that's inside the bubble with us?
No, it is outside with a torch.
But I still have line of sight on it, though.
Absolutely, yeah.
I will shoot at it for modify 20.
Yes, that is a hit.
And don't roll that one. This one. Roll this one. Go. 3 bullet and 2 force.
You can describe how this thing is dispatched.
I brace my hands together, even though it's only a single hand pistol, but I try to line up a really good shot down my wraith muzzle, and I fire, and if you're outside of that range, you don't even hear this shot, and it goes through this Astra bubble, and just as the red and hits the green, it kind of changes color, but then on the other side of the shield, it goes back to red, and then it pierces right through the eyes of this form that was once a head, and it just splashes to the ground.
And with that, all these creatures are down. The one that you just toppled is burning. What are you guys doing?
Doug is gonna sit down for a second and just.
Yeah, I actually need to roll an astrofade because I boosted up up to 7 with that because I couldn't get into his
Oh, okay.
Masahiro's refuge.
So you're 2 over then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where are the tables at?
Oh, just roll me a d6. I've got it here.
4.
4. Astra roots you to the floor with intense gravity. Your movement speed is half until you start your next turn. So.
Okay, so I actually was adhered to the ground as I killed this one, and then,
that's why you pulled it towards you instead.
Right.
That's perfect. Okay. What are you guys doing?
What is going on here? Do you have any idea?
I have no freaking clue. Did they mention any of this shit in our report?
Of course not. They don't share this type of detail with us. You know that.
Looks like a mess.
And I would imagine as Doc is sitting there, like, breathing slowly, like, you can see through all his vein, all this, like, green and, like, blue Astra, like, running through his veins from all that Astra he absorbed.
Hmm. What do you think, Blade?
I don't like the look of this at all. I value my own skin.
Do we feel we're safe right now? Should I drop this dome?
I can't get in it.
Gotcha.
I think
Yeah. Doc would
Can you
drop
use
it.
your hit dice? Do you need healing? Since you're in it, can you use a hit dice since you count as taking a short rest while you're in it?
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, you totally could.
But it also reduced your astrofade, so.
Yeah, but then he pumped it right back up again.
And then some.
Yeah, that's gonna be an ongoing battle until I explode, pretty much.
I don't think you've rolled badly on that fate table yet.
It's because I get to roll twice, so every time I roll bad, I just re-roll.
That's right.
Believe me, one of them it was really bad. I was gonna lose stats and all kinds of bad stuff.
So, is there anything remnant of uniforms or anything on these creatures?
Make me an investigation check.
I got a 16.
Where the mound originally was, how much do you search? Do you like dig through
Yeah, well,
the corpse?
digging through it sort of with my blade and trying to figure out if there's any sort of identifiable pieces within, be it uniform or otherwise.
So yeah, as you dig through this gelatinous ooze that's rapidly becoming shapeless, no longer like a shape of a humanoid or anything, on the floor underneath it, you find cloth.
Find
I'm
what?
sorry, can you?
Cloth.
Okay.
And when you pull it out, it's covered in this black, slimy, gelatinous ooze. But it definitely looks like a flight suit, like what someone would be wearing around in this, while they're on the ship.
Okay. Laying it out and sort of taking a board or something that's laying on the side and just sort of scraping it off. Is there any remnants of pockets or anything within?
Yeah, it's pretty much the entire jumpsuit. So you can see like it's fully intact, minus a couple of probably rips and tears, and where you maybe cut it yourself with your blade. But you can definitely see the insignia of the Leviathan on it.
Oh god, am I gonna turn into one of those things since I licked that goo?
Yes.
We gotta kill Doc.
I don't want to die.
Roll initiative. Okay. We need to find the bridge and see if there's any sort of command black box or some sort of thing like that. So, but I think we need to carry this torch with us. So I think we need to pick up the torch and start carrying it, because they seem to not do well with fire, right? Above all else, they seem to perish well under fire. Is that a true statement?
From what
I
you've
don't know.
observed so far, yes.
Okay. Okay. So we need to get to the.
Do you flesh bags need rest?
I could use a rest, but what about you, Blade? I know the doc needs one.
I'm fine.
Doc's been pushing it.
Hey, you know what they say? No pain, no gain.
Is Doc injured, like hit points?
No, Astra.
Okay.
Yeah, hit points on good. Extra,
His mind is swimming at the moment.
I don't think
Well,
you can
that's
even
why I trust
reduce that
my.
much in a sleep, anyways.
That's why I trust my rusty metal, not the wacko jacko Astra shit that you're pumping into your veins.
Oh, you use Astra. Don't even. So a short rest could be. Well, I mean, if we're walking, it wouldn't be considered a short rest. So I guess we could take an hour and try to go into the kitchen and hole up in there and block off the entrances and rest while we take an hour and maybe snack on some canned peaches and stuff like that. I would imagine they have some
The
remnants of
humans
food in there.
and your sustenance.
Mm-hmm. Don't be jealous.
Jealousy?
There's something to be said for the filling of the belly.
I do not have a belly.
That's why I said, don't be jelly.
I'd like everyone to make a perception check.
Nat 20.
Wasted
9.
20.
I got a 2.
16.
Blade. While Amos and Red are bantering about whether or not to eat, you are noticing that the mounds, well, what used to be these creatures, are slowly starting to pool together again.
It's doing that thing. I point out to them. Guys, stop yelling around. Look at this.
This is as he takes the torch and just starts like holding it next to these pools of stuff until it lights.
And as you bring the fire towards them, towards these mounds of ooze and stuff, they burn. They start to turn like this black and shrivel, and disintegrate. And as you get the fire going and you start taking more and more of these, there's like 4 of them to begin with. And as you do them, you guys hear this unholy shriek in your minds. It pierces to you to the core, and you get this intense feeling of hatred and anger, and it is so strong, it is so sharp, it is so painful. I need you guys to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
I got a 9.
I also got a 9.
I got a 10.
18.
Okay,
Sure.
so Red, you are able to, because of your probably your mental prowess or whatever training you had, you can shrug off this damage. So those of you who failed will take 11 points of psychic damage. And Red, you will take half, so that will be 5. And as you continue to burn these creatures, they disappear, effectively rendering this substance inert. It stops moving. It is nothing but ash when you are done. What do you guys do?
Go to the kitchen and eat peaches.
Maybe we should just go to the bridge or see if we can find some people or get what we need to get and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, but we need to rest because you're about to. You're
Maybe
so
get
blue.
out of this
You
place.
look like you're a blueberry.
Do you see that shit?
Really? Is that all you can think about is fruits?
Well,
I mean, he is called the Vulture.
yeah, there is that. He's got a point there.
Always got food on his mind. Seriously, we need to get the shit out of here. You see this? All this fucking madness around us? Find those survivors fast and get the hell out of here.
I'll
So we don't
I'll,
want to take a rest?
I'll try to be a good boy
We
and
don't got time for rest. So what did you say for me earlier? What, you don't have time to dilly-dally in that hunk of a wreck? Yeah, I'm imposing that rule right now. Don't
Oh,
have time to rest.
all right. So, all right. So we need to get moving then to the bridge, and so we're going to start moving toward the bridge. Is there a panel, an instrumentation panel that maybe we can determine where the bridge is, or would we know that? You said we're familiar with these types of ships. So.
Yeah, it would be in the opposite direction of the way that you guys originally have started in. So you'd have to backtrack from where you've gone. But there's definitely a panel that you could call up information if it's working.
Yeah, Blade will try to do that.
Is
Get a
it
panel
working?
up.
Give me a tech check.
Tech check. 25.
Yeah, when you go up to it, it is deader than a doornail. But you are able to do your techie stuff and can get it working.
Yep, I rewire some important diagnostics and get it booted. Zoop. I'm in, I'd say.
Are we
Hacker voice.
reading any life forms on the ship?
I'd flip through any and all cams that I can get access to. I'm looking for anything.
Okay, so as you cycle through the cams, you see blank hallway after blank hallway, some dotted with blue, most dotted with blue, in fact. And then you go to ones that are more around your area at this point. And the one hallway kind of lights up. It is much brighter. There are lines of blue on this one. And you flip another one to the... let me just get the picture. The cargo bay hold. Oops. And it shows this on the camera.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's here. So did I see that person in the hallway?
That is not a person. Maybe it is. Ignore that. It's not a person.
You're telling me that that person, that figure right there in the center of the hallway is a trick of the mind?
It's a trick of your mind,
All right.
absolutely. There's no person in the hallway.
All right. So it doesn't seem to be anyone here.
It's a short circuit.
I think we gotta get the hell out of here.
What exactly did the mission say that they wanted from the Leviathan?
We needed to track down the enemy troops, eliminate them if they're found, and find out what happened to the Leviathan.
Now we can fill in the paperwork later. Let's just get out of here.
We need to find out what happened to the Leviathan.
Okay, well, look around you. See this shit?
Yeah, but Blade, you know that we got to fill out the paperwork, and we got to give them a reason here.
Yeah, we'll come up with that reason on our way back. Well, we got a few hours. Think of something.
I think we need to get to the bridge.
You don't understand.
What do I not understand?
Wait, this shit's fine to you?
No, I think that there's something in the bridge that we can find this information from. We got to keep moving.
What, you think these zombie sludge boys are just gonna have a nice handwritten note in a wax sealed envelope waiting for us of what the fuck's going on here?
Well, I think that the captain has got a write-up as to what happened.
Yeah, so when this all was happening, you think the captain would just, sit at a fancy little desk and, type up what he's feeling.
Well, aren't you the techie? You can probably get everything from the computer hard drive, and then we can
Can you hack into the computer?
Well, I'll take a look and see if there's anything in here.
Come on, give it another roll. Take another look there. See what you can find. Can you get into the computer, the captain's log?
I'm gonna work my magic. That is a total of 29 on my tech roll.
Woo!
See?
So you hack into it. You find some security issues and you have to pull your way through them, but you manage to do so. And you find yourself now in the captain's log. What do you do?
Any recent ones?
There's one, the latest It's probably about trying to do math in my head. About 56 hours ago or so.
All right, let's give this one a shot. See what happens. Is it text or is it voice?
It looks like it could be video, in fact.
All right, I'll drag and drop into my Glancer and then play it for all of us to see.
So you drag a drop into your Glancer, you play it, this holograph image kind of appears like, a thin film. And on it, you see the captain, and you can tell it's him. He's got the nice blazon of the Leviathan on his uniform. And he's captain's log. It's a date. Oh, to head out on a mission. Found part of the downed ship. Must have broke up on entry. We'll find out if there's any survivors. I don't believe anybody could have survived that explosion we saw. But we'll check, make it thorough. And it's kind of an end right there. And then you notice there's another one shortly thereafter, probably maybe an hour or so later. And this time it's a little bit scrambled, and the camera is kind of shaky. The video is shaky. You can't really see who it is, but it's a different voice, and it's screaming and it's yelling and it's saying, "Oh my God, I don't know what's happening here. They're all attacking everybody. It's just a hell here." And then a scream. And the video goes dead.
There you go. That's what happened here. Happy now?
Hey, yeah, actually, that's a lot better. That's a
Yeah,
lot
and I got
better.
all my Glancer. We can bring that back to the captain, and boom, mission complete.
Right. Now we
Get
got to
outta
set
here.
the self-destruct sequence.
Boom.
Yeah, boom.
We got the boom, boom, boom.
Big battle boom.
Biggest
We gotta
boom this side of Boomlin.
make the Leviathan go boom, 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 because we can't leave. We can't leave our military equipment behind.
Well, why don't we go do that and then get out of here before more of those things come?
Well, that's why I'm staring at Blade. I'm like, you got to rig it to self-destruct.
All right, well, I need you to get out of here. Start moving out. I'll follow close behind.
All right. So we start moving out, and Blade starts setting up the self-destruct sequence within the ship.
How long do you set the timer for, Blade?
I'm gonna bring with them one of my scout spheroids, so I can kind of see how far they've gotten. And then basically once they've exited the ship, I'm kind of like gonna count how many minutes it took for them to leave, and then kind of cut that time down a little bit, and then run out. So if it takes them 5 minutes, I'll give myself 4 minutes 30 seconds or whatever. If that makes sense.
So let's say it does take them 5 minutes. You're going to set the timer to explode like in 10 minutes. That kind of, is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Gives
It
me
blew
time to
up like
get out.
right as you got out. You might want a little bit of extra time.
Yeah.
Because you also have your ship that's right beside
Yeah, we want to get away.
Yep.
Okay, so you rig it. So I'm assuming you're going to rig it then to explode, giving yourself a tough time to not only get out, but to get to your ship and start it up and go. Okay. You do so. You set this timer. You watch them leave. You set the timer, and then you book it out of this place. And as you're closing the gap onto your ship, they're already inside. They're getting it primed. You see out of the corner of your eye more of those beasts arriving on the scene. You shoot a couple, and you manage to make it into your shuttle before they close on you. And you take off. And you guys make it safely back to your ship that's hovering up. Sorry, I guess I should come back. Just as you take off, I want you to describe to me, Blade, what the detonation looks like of the ship that you, the Leviathan, how it explodes, what you did.
It's actually a series of mini explosions that eventually triggers a complete fuel ignition in a chain reaction, causing the whole ship to just explode in one, almost like a supernova. Of course, small scale because it's only the size of a ship. But like in multiple sections, the ship would kind of explode, simultaneously. So even that, if the main explosion of the fuel tanks and then all the other combustible bits weren't enough on the core, any kind of proliferatory stuff could also get blown up too, through these smaller explosions everywhere. And it also almost goes off like choreographed fireworks, as if Blade has done something like this before and he's made a bit of a show out of it. Almost in time to like a rhythm of a song or something. And if anyone can see Blade behind his mask, he'd smile at the sight of this huge explosion.
And as the explosion goes off and that little smile lights your face, before you guys are out of range, you hear in your mind one more shriek of this horrendous alien sounding venom, and the hatred and the pain and the anger flies through you. Not enough, however, to do anything to you. You're not close enough anymore. But you feel kind of the death throes of whatever it was that was on that ship as it exploded. And you fly back to your ship and you make it back. You debrief your captain, the commanding officer that had sent you, and you retire to your rooms. About a day, 2 days later, 3 of you are lying in your beds. In your quarters, when all of a sudden, Doc, Red, Blade, you start to convulse. The pain shoots through you. You've never felt this before. And in moments, you are no longer able to control what's happening, and you convulse. And what we see is these three men, we'll call them men, collapse onto their beds as black spores spew forth from their mouth into the air. And then all of a sudden, their bodies open, and this black goo and ooze spreads out everywhere, and their bodies basically disintegrate in front of your eyes in seconds. And the last thing we see before the camera fades to black is that this black spore-like dots enter into the ventilation and air shaft recirculation ducts. And that is where we'll end.
Son of a bitch. Who brought it back?
Well, remember, I ate some of the stuff, so.
That's true.
That's what you get for licking things you wouldn't normally lick.
Thank you, guys.
No, thank you. That was a lot of fun. I'm surprised I didn't
Thank you.
explode.
Sorry, Jose, what was that?
I said I was surprised I didn't explode.
I'm surprised you didn't either, but
You kept pushing it.
I thought you might at one point. You were so close.
If we would have fought again, it probably would have happened.
Thank you guys for playing. Thank you for anybody who may watch. I'm going to throw it back to the players to let them do their last thoughts. Chad.
Thank you very much. A pleasure. I don't know if I've had you as a DM before. I think just either on the same side of the table or an I've DM'd for you. So that was a pleasure, and I appreciate it. Thank you for this foray into a little bit of alternate Harbinger. I appreciate it. If you are watching now or later, and you have not yet checked out Absolute Tabletop Facebook group, please do so. That's where you can meet some of these fine folks and get in great games like this, and maybe even run your own. And thank you again. It was lovely playing with all of you again, and I hope to again soon in the future. Take care.
Thank you, Chad. Yeah, I agree. Definitely check out Absolute Tabletop. It's where I met all these wonderful people. And yeah, this is the first game I've DM'd for you, so thank you, Chad, for going along on this adventure. Next, we have Dave.
My pleasure.
Yep, first game you've DM'd for me as well. Thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. First time I've gotten to play a Mancer in Harbinger in an alternate setting, albeit, but still a lot of fun and some enjoyable, some sickness that we brought back unintentionally. Man, I guess our doc needed to have a better medicine roll or something to know better than to just bring it back on the ship. Damn it. But yeah, I'm Dave with Morn Blade Gaming. I had a lot of fun. Thank you, Karen, for running it. I appreciate it. And I love playing with this cast of people. Played with them before and would love to play with them again. So thank you. What a great Friday evening.
Thank you, Dave. It was great having you on the other side of the table for a change. I've only ever played with you or been GM'd by you, so this is great. Thank you so much. Connor.
I had a lot of fun playing tonight. Thank you. It was always fun to foray into some fun worlds. Yeah, stellar job. Thank you. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. Jose.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. I had a blast, and yeah, this is definitely the first game you ever like ran, and I loved it. Like I wasn't expecting the whole horror alien thing, so that was cool. I was just expecting, the usual thing. So it was a lot of fun, and it's definitely fun playing with everybody here. I played with them before, so I had a blast. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. And I guess we'll find out what happens next. Brought it back with them. What could go wrong? Anyway, thank you everybody who watched and may watch in the future. We're signing off.